This is Off the Record with Dannie Rogers, a new Detroit Lions podcast airing on Lions social media platforms, along with wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm your host, Dannie Rogers, and I'll be introducing you to some guests with pretty amazing stories, to network reporters and writers, chefs, and some of the Detroit Lions' very own on how they've gotten to where they are, the good and the not so good. Tune in to Off the Record, airing every Tuesday. Today we've got double the fun. Haley Graves, a talented reporter, host, graphic designer for the Detroit Tigers. Oh, and wide receiver Josh Reynolds' fiance is co-hosting alongside me as we welcome Kyndra Decker to the podcast. Kyndra is a talented chef who has used social media to showcase her yummy cakes and delicious meals that offensive lineman Taylor Decker gets to feast on at home. Kyndra wrote her first cookbook at age 25 called Kyndra's Kitchen, made with love, not gluten. Yes, you should go buy it on Amazon right now. And guess who was the editor of that cookbook? None other than husband Taylor. Here is Kyndra's story. So Kyndra, here, pregnant, due very soon.
Yes.
I love when Taylor was at a press conference and he just gushed about you.
Oh.
Did you see it by chance?
What did he say?
It was in.
He never tells me when they ask about me. I'm like,
really?
did they ask about me?
We do, and he answered it, and it was lovely. And he was saying just how excited you were to be a mom, and that your mom was going to come in and help because, you guys didn't really plan very well.
Yeah,
baby due in
sometimes
mid-October.
you can't plan.
Well, you could say that you did plan great because it's the bye week.
We actually
that's
planned,
actually just very lucky.
We planned to have it on the bye week, so let's just go with that.
Crushed it.
Before when the schedule came out in May, they already just had an idea in their head of when the bye week was going to be.
Exactly.
You're one of 4 offensive line families who are going to have a baby very soon.
Which is crazy, but it's also very fun to go through this because this is obviously my first baby. Yeah. To go through this with people that you like, and I told you before. Yeah. The offensive line girls are so close knit, just like the offensive line guys are. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So to have a group of girls that are like my genuine friends that are going through this with me is so much fun.
You've got Big B.
Yep.
The Sewells are going to have their first baby as well.
Yep.
And then you mentioned Matt Nelson.
Yep.
They're
their
going
first
to have
baby.
Oh my. Wait, so is it? No, Vitis are.
It's their third. They're the vets in the situation.
Oh my gosh.
They're the vets. Yeah.
I've been asking her a lot of questions because I love her kids. Her kids are so sweet and well behaved, and I'm just like, teach me how.
Yeah, I think there's 10 Lions players who are expecting very
I believe
soon.
it. That's absolutely insane.
Awesome.
Not to mention all of the toddlers that this team already has running around.
We're family oriented.
Facts. It's like,
literally.
no, it really runs deep here. Like you can say, oh, in the locker room, they're very family oriented. No, it extends to the wives and the significant others.
Sure.
Like it's deep here.
Yeah.
It sure does. Okay, so were you impressed with, did you see Taylor swaddling a baby here for Media Day?
I did, actually.
Were you impressed or were you shocked?
No,
Was it good?
I think he did great.
Okay.
And that was obviously his first time. I mean, he has a huge family and, but you don't really do that with other people's kids.
No.
I mean, you could, but
What is his,
he hasn't.
What's his take on changing diapers? I feel like this is like a big subject against couples because, for example, Josh's brother has a child. Would not change diapers. Would
Just
not change
says
diapers.
No?
Yes, would not change diapers.
I'm like, well, you don't get told the baby
Right.
that.
Like, does not change diapers.
No, I agree.
So what is y'all's take on the whole diaper situation?
We haven't really talked about it, to be honest with you.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Well, he'll be at practice all day.
I know. And so.
But like when he gets home, like that's diaper city.
I was really sick in the beginning of my pregnancy. And he was such a good little housewife. Like he was doting on me hand and foot. Like nothing sounded good. So he would just list everything off that we had in the fridge. And I'd be like, no. And he would just like whip me something up. Like he was taking care of me. It was so sweet. So that like paternal like instinct was coming out of him then. Yeah. And I think when the baby's born, it's going to come out and he's going to want to do all that stuff. Right.
How was it for you being sick and then being the cook that you are?
It sucked.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't cook for like 10 or 11 weeks. I was literally just laying on the couch like,
oh my gosh.
It was horrible. Yeah. But I'm feeling much better now. I got right back into it. It was fine.
We saw the cake you baked for Taylor's birthday. It looked delicious.
Made a little German chocolate cake. It's one of his favorites. So
What are some of his other
and
favorites?
He had it for breakfast this morning.
Oh,
breakfast
I'm
this
just not
morning.
surprised.
He loves biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy is his all-time favorite thing.
Okay.
Like, we have to have that in the fridge at all times.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So
He'll
it's like,
eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I agree with all of those.
It's delicious.
Yeah. I agree with all of that. Okay, so you are professionally trained
Yes.
as a chef.
I am.
You mentioned to us off camera, went to ASU for about a year. It just wasn't your thing.
No, I hated it.
It
wasn't
that's
just my thing. I hated it.
Yeah.
I was miserable.
You're like, we're not going to undermine this. Like, I did not like
I
it.
was really unhappy there.
Okay.
And personally, I don't want to pat myself on the back or anything, but I think it takes a lot to kind of just get up and be like, I'm really unhappy here. I'm going to leave and do something I want to do.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
Right. Just
Well,
recognizing, like,
yes.
this ain't for me.
Especially when all your friends are doing the university
Right.
thing. They're all in rushing, or is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Doing the sorority thing. And it just wasn't for me. I knew what I wanted to do. So I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
You're like doing the damn thing.
And I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cookbook by 25.
Yeah.
Is that a goal?
I
Did you set a
know.
like number on there?
There wasn't a number on it, but it was something that I've always wanted to do. Like, that was my dream.
Mm-hmm.
When I started Kyndra's Kitchen, I was like, I want to have cookbooks. I want a line of cookbooks. I want to. And so that was something that I was really passionate about. And for it to just kind of come to life last year, it was pretty incredible.
During the season too, right?
Yep.
You guys just don't stop year round.
No. And we were going to do one this year too. We were planning on it, but obviously things change. We were going to work on a smoking meat cookbook, and it was going to be like a dual, like a me and Taylor doing it. Because he's really into smoking meat on the Traeger or the green egg or what have you.
Yes.
So we were going to do that, but obviously with me being very sick during the off season, smoked meats didn't really sound that good. So we're going to hold off on that one. Maybe it'll be the next one, but yeah.
Yeah, you'll have a 1-year-old eating smoked meat.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's how
She's
that's
gonna
going to
love
go. Right? Oh my gosh.
Make sure it's really that melt in your mouth meat, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it always is. Taylor would be offended that you would think he would make anything other than
Fair,
that.
fair.
Going back to your school days, it was at Le Cordon Bleu.
Yep.
I feel like we hear about those in movies, like that being the best cooking culinary school ever.
Yeah.
Where are there different locations? Where was it?
There's a bunch of different locations.
Okay.
Obviously, the really prestigious ones are
Paris.
overseas.
Yeah.
But I'm too much of a homebody to venture out of my. I actually almost went to Ottawa, Canada,
Oh,
because
where
they
is
have a really good one. It's on like the eastern. Well,
Okay.
I guess I'm thinking from Arizona, but it's like right above us.
Okay.
And God, what was I saying? Pregnancy brain.
Did you stay home?
You
Phoenix?
stayed home.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was going to go there. I applied for there. I got into there. And then when it came down to it, I just wasn't ready to leave.
Yeah.
So I went to the one in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
which is now since closed. So
Oh, wow.
it's kind of cool that I got to go there
Yeah.
because it closed. And now no one else can ever go there and graduate again. So yeah, I went there and it was awesome. I learned so much. Like I said, I was miserable at ASU, but with Le Cordon Bleu, I looked forward to going to school every day. I looked forward to getting up, putting on my checkered pants.
Your little white thing?
Yep, my checkered pants, my little chef coat. I had a little hat and a, what's it called, a cravat? This little necktie
that's
thing that we had to
amazing.
wear.
Fancy.
And clogs.
Clogs.
Yeah.
I
Like
assume for the
shoes.
kitchen
Yeah.
spills.
Yeah, because you don't want to slip.
No.
Were they
And it
more
was
like
awesome.
Crocs or like clogs?
There's like a special kind of shoe. It's like a chef shoe, and they're like kind of like clogs, Crocs, like some sort of like in between hybrid.
You can't really like make a word for it.
Yeah.
It's just clogs and
There
Crocs.
might be a word for it, but mine looked like little clogs, and I loved them.
Do you have
They're
them
so
still?
comfy. My mom
Please
might
tell me
have
you
them.
cook in them still.
My mom might have them at her house.
Okay.
No, I cook barefoot now. Or in slippers.
That's
Lucy
fair.
Ragnow always makes fun of me because I wear slippers year round.
Why not?
But in Arizona, you have to because like it doesn't really get that cold.
So why would you wear slippers if it's warm?
Well, they're
Right?
just cozy.
I agree. No, I'm not
Coziness.
doubting that.
I
but
love to be cozy.
I agree with this.
What was your
Yeah.
day-to-day like in school there?
At Le Cordon Bleu.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. You had to pick a specialty. So either like the cooking aspect or the pastry. And I actually went with pastry because at the time I was making very fancy cakes. Yeah, I was really into making like these very extravagant cakes. I can send you pictures of them, but like I made this giant hobbit hole. Like it was like huge. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was really fun. And I made like a giant eye of Sauron. I made a dog. Oh, what else did I make? I made a bunch of them. But like all working with fondant and all that stuff. And so I was really passionate about making cakes when I first started going to the Cordon Bleu. Yeah. So I took the pastry route. And in the pastry curriculum, we didn't take like the meat classes or anything, which sucked because I would have loved to do that. But for me, it was more like the knife skills. And then we moved on to like chocolatier stuff and sugar work and fondant work.
This is so fascinating.
Yeah. Yes. So like every semester there was like a different class like that. And it was so fun because we were like hands-on every single day. Like in the chocolate class, I kid you not, I came home head to toe covered in chocolate every single day. Like I smelled like chocolate all the time.
That's actually so cool.
And it was fun. I loved it. We made these giant like sculptures and out of chocolate and sugar, and it was fun. You can tell I get like really excited.
You're like, your eyes are. Yeah. Have you ever thought about going on one of those like reality TV baking shows?
I've been asked to many times.
Can we submit an application for you after this interview?
Have you been asked by the actual shows?
I've been asked by the Food Network's spring baking championship.
Please do it.
Yes.
Just
that would be so cool.
Of what?
I'm scared. I feel like it's because I heard rumors that those kind of shows were like reality TV shows.
Scripted a little bit.
And they're scripted and there's a winner and
they choose who it is.
Yeah. I don't know for sure. That's just what I heard. And I'm like, if I'm going to go on there, like I'm going to win it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to go if they're not going to pick me to win. So
do they know they're not going to win it early on?
I don't know.
Like maybe it's like in contract details. Like they decide like, hey, we're going to put this in your contract. You're going to be the winner. But
see, that's what I heard. But obviously I don't know if it's true, rumors and all. But I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Because you have like the face for TV. So it would like honestly make sense. You would like capture the hearts of America on a baking show.
Can you imagine? Yeah. And then you're like, oh, who do you cook for at home? A large offensive lineman.
Right. It only makes sense. Like you would actually be the ideal person for one of these shows.
Okay. If you guys really want me to, maybe next time I'll think about it.
Put the brisket and the meats cookbook on the side. Instead, let's push forward with you being on a reality TV show.
Oh my
They'd be like, okay, stack this tiered cake together. I'd be like, okay. And then it would just like fall. Sometimes there's disasters.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It would be.
Well, are those scripted? Maybe someone knocks it over.
Right. They're like, hey, pretend you can't find the eggs. And like this person's like,
exactly. Yes. They have to make it exciting somehow.
Right.
So I don't know.
I don't know if I'll ever trust the Food Network again.
I know. I'm sorry. Did I ruin it for you?
No, I'm still gonna watch it. But I'd love to see you on there.
Maybe one day.
Okay. It seems like you cracked the social media entrepreneurship early on. The aesthetic looks like it's going on like 6 years strong.
Oh yeah.
But it's definitely evolved.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
So did you know social media was gonna like help you?
Yeah, in a way. I actually started on YouTube.
Okay.
So then you're an OG.
I don't think this YouTube exists anymore.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't find it.
No. And thankfully it doesn't.
Okay.
Oh my God. I was so embarrassed. I deleted those videos a long time ago. I would literally set up in my mother's kitchen. I was like 19 or 20. Mm-hmm. I was still going to school at the time. And it was like a camera, just like this. And I would be like, "Hi, I'm Kyndra, and this is my kitchen." And then I would do all the editing, and it was so bad. But I loved it. And I would stay up like all night, like doing these like I don't even remember some of the things I made, like crostadas, and I did cakes, and I did pizzas, and like from scratch, like all this stuff. And God, I should send you one of the videos just so you can like see it for reference. Us a little clip. Yeah. But yeah, I would film it all myself. I would edit it all myself, and I would put it on YouTube, and I would type the recipes out, and that's where I started. I didn't even have like an Instagram or anything in the beginning. I was strictly YouTube, and I told myself, this is where I'm going to be. Like, I want to make cooking videos.
Yeah.
And it just got to be way too much for me to like do all by myself. Right? Because
it's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And so imagine me sitting here cooking, and then I'd have to cut and like run around and like press the button and then come back and like that was me for like 3 years. I did that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did the YouTube page take off?
Yeah, in a way it kind of
Wow.
did. And that's when I made the Instagram, and I kind of, you know, they say that you have to like have all these platforms and kind of connect them all to kind of build them all together, together. So that's what I did. I made the Instagram. The Instagram kind of started to take off more than the YouTube, and it was way easier.
Yes.
You know, I wasn't staying up till 4 a.m. like editing these videos that were bad.
But made with love.
I don't think
They
you're,
were made
I don't
with
think you're
love,
giving
though.
yourself enough credit here.
No, if you ask my mom, she'd be like, they were so good. And, you know, maybe they were for like me being an amateur
Yeah.
videographer, if you could call me that.
No, just show us one and we'll tell you.
Okay. All right. I'll send one over.
Okay, perfect.
If I can find it. But yeah, and then the Instagram kind of started to take off more, and it was way more fun for me, and I had more time, and then brands started to reach out for like collaboration things, like Bob's Red Mill, their flowers and stuff.
Oh, yes.
I did something with them for a while. Ancient Nutrition, the protein powder. Yeah. So it was just way easier for me to kind of build up the Instagram rather than the YouTube. And now I look back on those YouTube videos and I'm like, why did I do that?
It's still very impressive. You've amassed a great following on Instagram. And like it looks like you plan out every single post and everything is very purposeful. It's a beautiful feed.
Thank you.
Do you do that?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like kind of OCD about where things are placed sometimes.
I would have
on my
never
feed.
known that from your
Yeah,
feed.
I don't know. I kind of go crazy about it. Like there was a point in time where I wouldn't like post 2 pictures of like myself next to each other. Like it had to be food, me, or like food, me, food, me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm since I've gotten much better about that, but yeah, there was a point in time where I was like very strict about that.
Well, because
kind
I
of
feel like
stuff.
there was like a good chunk of time that aesthetics mattered.
Yeah, it did.
Realistically, on Instagram, like that's your first impression that people have of you is just looking at what your feed looks like, and so that was so important.
I
Yeah,
agree.
no, I
And that's why I
respect you
did
for
it.
it. I respect you for the detail
That's
of that.
why I did it. But it kind of got to be like kind of overwhelming. I'm like, why am I thinking about this when nobody really cares, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just so much easier just to kind of like let it go with the flow. And that's where I'm at now. It's just kind of like whatever I want to put on there, I put on there.
Would you call yourself a social media entrepreneur?
I mean, in a way, it's better than influencer.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that term.
now I know what word triggers you.
No, I wouldn't consider myself an influencer because I don't like to influence people to do things.
But eat really good food.
But eat really good food and cook things for themselves. And like
But
Taylor
see,
and
you're
I don't go out
bettering
to
people.
eat
Like you're
at all.
bettering people,
Right.
so it counts.
So you're calling me an influencer?
Kind of. But I will say that the term influencer does get a bad rep these days.
It does.
Yes.
It does. And I don't promote products that I don't love. I don't really promote much of anything anymore, but you know, things that I'm not passionate about. I get so many emails every single day asking to promote this or that or collaborate with this and make stuff with that. And I'm just like, if I don't already use this, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Have you thought at all with, you know, baby on the way, are you going to pivot your content in any way to, you know, incorporate
love to.
different like baby foods or,
Do you guys
know,
follow
things like
that
that?
lady on Instagram who does the lunches for her kids?
Where she packs them like in different, and it's very like colorful.
And she makes like awesome stuff every single day.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay.
That's your goal.
That's me.
I appreciate it.
During training camp, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I pack Taylor's lunches every day during training camp.
Like he gets food here. Okay.
Yeah, he knows. I know.
She's like, it doesn't stop me.
But I pack his lunches every single day because I don't know if it's just like me wanting to like practice or we always have leftovers. I guess it's a little bit of both, but I pack his lunches every day and write him a little note.
No, I can understand. It's like you being a part of his day.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
completely can relate
Yeah.
because Josh's rookie year, when I was like, I went from this place of being consistently involved in football with him to all of a sudden not knowing what his day was like.
And you don't see
so
him.
I just started cooking. And like that was like for me, same thing. Like I will cook him dinner every single night, despite them having dinner here. Yeah. Also, oh no, he comes home to a cooked meal.
No, it doesn't matter.
Because that feels like my role in his life is cooking.
Yes.
Yeah. I completely understand.
And it's something that you can do. You sit down and you eat together when they get
exactly.
home.
Yeah.
Like I love that. Like I don't know what I would do if we didn't have like our dinner time at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was in Taylor's lunches?
Oh God, anything and everything.
Was it like Tupperware containers, like you said, like that woman you like? She does like the little compartments.
Yep.
Or is like PB&J's like of shapes.
I usually do some I don't do like kids stuff because obviously I don't want him to feel like a child.
Very grown man.
But I will pack like huge like we did meatball subs on like this homemade sourdough that I made one day. Like stuff like that. Crunchwrap Supremes, stuff that like that's stuff that I would have had the night before and then just pack in the morning. Like I don't get up at 4 a.m. and like make this stuff obviously, but if we have like leftovers like that, why not pack it for him to eat for lunch? Yeah. Because even though they do get food here, he's a big guy. Yeah. And he eats a couple lunches sometimes, you know? Whatever.
I bet. Yeah, I know. I'm hoping on Hard Knocks one day we'll just see him snacking in the meeting room. Hopefully with
his little lunch.
Yeah.
With his little note.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too. What the heck? Hard Knocks, show him.
We need to get him a lunchbox that says Kyndra's Kitchen on it. So then like while he's eating, it's like set up with Kyndra's Kitchen.
And personalized lunchbox?
Yes.
Please make it happen.
That's
his
what we
birthday was
need.
yesterday. Why didn't you tell me yesterday? Or the day before? I could have had it. Whatever.
Like,
maybe
I mean, we
year.
get like stuff made for them with their name, their number. Why can't he rep?
Why not a lunchbox?
Yeah, why can't he rep you on a lunchbox at the facility?
I'm down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I love that.
Look, I have a Cricut. We can make this happen.
Please do it. Oh my! And just organically in front of the camera.
Yes.
It's product placement.
Just slide it in.
Hey, I'm in for it. If you guys can convince him.
We'll work on it. Okay, we have to go back to, you said your passion for cooking and everything, and it's led you and Taylor to having your time together at home. So what started the passion for cooking and the pastries?
Oh gosh, probably my mom and my grandma, because they were always, I have, in my cookbook actually, I have these pictures of me like sitting up on the counter wrapping shrimp with bacon or getting my hands in a cookie dough bowl. So I've literally been cooking since I was like able to use my hands and function like a normal human. And that's how I want my little girl to be too. You know, I'm going to set her up there and she's going to get cooking right away.
Yeah.
She's got to take after mom.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where it probably stemmed from. And then in high school, I was always the one to make cakes for people and bring them to school. And, you know, I was that girl that would do that at lunch, and it's kind of embarrassing, but I loved it. I loved to make cakes. I loved to make people feel special on their birthday. And so I guess that's where it came from. And then this whole thing kind of just stemmed into me loving creating recipes. And I love the photography part of it. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Did you take all the photos for your cookbook?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
Which that was an evolution for sure. If you look back at some of my old pictures, they were bad, really bad. But you know, with all things, it's a process, and you have to live and you learn. And I mean, I can't even tell you how many articles I read about food photography and food styling and all this stuff. And I took courses, and
oh my god,
I mean, it's hard. It was hard, because you have to literally, like, let's say you have a cinnamon coffee cake here. You don't only need the cinnamon coffee cake. You need napkins, you need utensils, you need like a little spatula, you need cinnamon sticks, you need cinnamon, you need like granulated sugar to sprinkle around. It's this whole thing.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
I think it like kind of goes back to like what you were saying in the very beginning, like you just being brave enough and bold enough to take the leap and do it. And like it's kind of, that's what has led you this entire time.
For sure.
That's exactly what it sounds like. You're just brave enough to do it.
Yeah. And that's what you have to do when you love something that much. You don't want to be miserable your whole life and doing something you don't love. Right. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
That is beautiful.
That's where we are.
Okay, just like Haley and Josh are balancing your guys' crazy work schedules, you guys are balancing this as well. So how do you guys complement each other in this world of football, and then these beautiful cakes and and recipes that you post?
Well, I think the most obvious is that he gets a lot of food.
Yes.
And he gets to keep on that weight with the food that I make him, which makes me happy, obviously. Because not only do I make him all these meals, and it's stuff that I'm making for, you know, my page, but he gets to eat it, which is fun. Mm-hmm. And he said the other day, he's like, why you always ask me if it's good? Like, I've never once not liked something you've made me. And I'm like, that's a good point. I don't think you have. Maybe I should try. Yeah. Make something that you don't like.
Can you videotape that? Just give him something that you know tastes horrible.
Gross. Have you seen those videos of the ladies who take like soup, but they put a ton of salt on the spoon?
Yeah, I have.
Do that.
Oh, I had a friend, we'll never forget this, 3rd grade. She always was like our bake friend, right? Mm-hmm. Brought brownies to school. Mm-hmm. It was April Fool's. She replaced the sugar in the recipe with salt.
Ew.
And gave them out to everyone.
On purpose?
For her own humor, because it was April Fool's. Just for her own humor of doing it. So you should maybe do that, like mess with him.
My gosh.
Especially because you're so good at pastries, and like take one ingredient out or replace it.
He'd be so nice about it, though. He'd be like, it's delicious. His eyes would be watering. He'd be like, oh my God.
That would actually make it really funny.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I should do that. But yeah, I would say that's probably the most obvious, is that he gets to eat all the stuff that I make. And I always try and use really good ingredients and stuff so that I know that I'm obviously fueling his body with the best possible thing. And mine also, because I got to feed this little girl who's very hungry all the time, by the way.
Yeah, you brought your banana and you're like, I get hungry a lot.
I get hungry. I might have to take a break here soon and have my banana. But yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest thing, is that he's hungry all the time. Yeah. And that we always have food, fresh food, whatever, laying around.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah. It's a great marriage.
I love that. Awesome. I mean, how difficult. I mean, we saw Taylor not playing every game last year. You know, he went through a little adversity.
Yeah.
From your standpoint, was that more time spent at home with you?
Well, I don't want to be, but yeah, it was. Yes. And obviously that sucked. And they're never happy when something like that happens, obviously.
Right.
And it wasn't even, he injured himself in the preseason. So it was like he didn't even get to play in the first game. And the year prior, he played every single snap. So it was like very hard for him to go through that and not play in the first half of the year. So it was hard, but it was a lot more time spent at home with me and the dogs. And he helped me with the cookbook too. I mean, I have pictures of him sitting at my computer, like editing it. Yeah. Like he was like my editor.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't have an editor?
No.
Taylor's your editor?
Yeah. Taylor and my mom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he was a huge part of the cookbook. And obviously it was sucked that he had to be home so much, but it also helped me get the cookbook.
Fair. I mean, it almost was like kind of like, as sad as it is to say, like meant to be in a certain sense.
Yes.
Because what people don't realize is when the players are injured and they're, going to be injured for consecutive weeks and a good chunk of time a season, like people don't realize that exiled is probably an extreme word, but like they get put on their own schedule. Like they're no longer in those meetings consistently. They're essentially don't totally feel like a part of the team. And so like, but for him, I'm sure to be able to still have you and help you with that in a way probably helped his headspace a lot more than you probably even realize.
For sure. I agree with that. I didn't even think about that, but it makes me want to cry.
I know. I see it in your face. You're like, stop talking.
Aww. Well, I love that Taylor just speaks his mind a lot. Yeah. Like on Twitter last year, we knew it was difficult that he wasn't able to be out there on the field. And so he let the people know on Twitter, and I'm like, retweet.
I know.
Retweet.
I know. And I told him he needed to do that. I was like, because a lot of times people don't understand how hard it is. Like, obviously, those guys want to be out there. I'm always proud of him for sticking up for himself, That's what those guys got to do.
Are you the calming one, or is Taylor more calm?
I think we both calm each other.
Okay.
Yes, in different ways. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have ways of calming down. Like, we play World of Warcraft. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that's very... It doesn't seem calming.
Well, it's just gaming in general. Yeah. It's like our peace. Which is very strange. We both gamed for like a very long time.
Interesting.
I know. But a lot of like almost every night we'll come home and we'll get on and we'll like do some quests or whatever.
Do you
and
know
it's
how many
just very like grounding for us.
You were talking about like the Hobbit cake,
Yeah.
and the thing after that, which I don't know because
We're
and I'm
very
like,
nerdy.
there's like a different. You're right. There's a nerdy side to this right now.
Yeah, we're very nerdy. That Hobbit cake was actually for a Hobbit. What was it? It was like a premiere party in Hollywood that I got invited to make this cake.
That is cool.
And
Way to bury the lead on that one.
I was so pumped about it because I love that stuff. Like I grew up loving Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all that, and that's one of the things we bonded over. Our first date, we watched Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh.
So
isn't that like a 4-hour-long movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and we watched it start to finish.
Yeah, you wanted that day to last.
Yes. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
We had a great time. And mostly because we were watching my favorite movie.
You're like, it was a great time for me, actually.
And I was sitting there, like, reciting the lines to him. And he's like, you know, I mean, it was just a match made in heaven.
Over Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So gaming's, like, a very, like, peaceful thing for us to do after a long day or whatever. And so that's obviously something that calms us that we do together.
I'm picturing a little baby in like a bassinet.
Yeah, next to us while we game.
Yeah.
I'm
glad that's going to continue.
Gonna happen.
What other games do you guys like?
Last year we played a lot of Call of Duty, which I'm sure you've heard of. We would play with a lot of the O-line sometimes.
They all get on the same.
Sometimes,
You guys have your headphones.
And we had
you
our
talk to each
headset
other.
on. Yep.
Yeah.
And I would always carry him.
Does he stream?
I mean,
does
I
he
was
ever?
the best.
Did y'all ever stream it? Like, I feel like this could be a really wonderful Twitch channel.
I know.
I know. We've like talked about it, and Taylor watches Twitch all the time. Maybe that will be his, path after football. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Sure.
But he's good, so could be.
There's always a path. Do you guys talk about that at all? The path after football?
A little bit.
Okay.
Not too much, just because we obviously don't know when that's going to be.
Yep.
But I think that he would love to just take a little break for a couple years and just focus on our family.
Yeah.
And then see where life takes him. But I know he's really passionate about working out in the off season. Like that's like, he loves to just work out. And he goes to a gym in Arizona that he loves. He loves the guys that are there. He loves the owner. And so I could see him being some sort of trainer or something, honestly.
And girl dad.
And a girl dad.
Oh my gosh. Does baby girl do we know her name yet? Have you revealed the name?
We haven't technically revealed it, but I think we're pretty, you know it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after. We're pretty set. We're pretty set on it. It's like 95%. But I kind of feel like you can't really name a baby until you see their little face.
Until you meet her.
But what if you see her face and you're like, no, that's not going to work?
Well, I have a whole list.
Okay. We'll go to the next
just
one.
go down the list.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
How quickly will you bring baby girl to a game?
I was talking about the girls about that because obviously everyone's kind of having a baby right now.
Yes.
I don't know if I will take her to one this year.
Fair.
I might take
Very
her to
small.
like the very last home game if Taylor really wants me to. But I mean, they're just so small and it's loud.
Because she'd only be about 3 months, even for like
she'll
our
be like
last
2.5,
game.
3 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
baby.
So I don't know. We'll see. I would love to, but
Next season might be her stride.
next season's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be sweet. I'm gonna get her all the Lions gear. I'm gonna get her on the Cub cam. It's gonna be.
That honestly is like some of the goals.
the highlight.
Yes.
Yes.
And every NFL stadium does it, and you can't.
not the same.
Yeah.
No way.
They're
It's
not
not the
all
same.
Lions.
That was my first Lions game. I was sold when I saw the Cub cam. Like I was sold.
It's wholesome.
Yes.
It is Detroit.
Very.
You just listened to another episode of Off the Record with Dannie Rogers. A new episode drops every Tuesday.